What's up, my pre-calc people? I want to talk to you about the Numworks calculator and how absolutely awesome it is. One of my favorite apps on this new calculator is the Grapher app. It makes graphing functions and equations so awesome, so beautiful, and well, super really easy. And if you like everything about this calculator, then I want to give you a chance to get 10% off. So instead of paying full price, you get 10% off. I mean, it's already cheaper than a lot of the other graphing calculators out there. So 10% off is going to just make it even cheaper. So all you got to do is use the code that you see in the description of this video. Click on add to cart. When you add the new calculator to the cart, you'll get that 10% applied. So let's show you some of the cool features of this Grapher app that I think you're going to fall in love with and realize that you need this calculator. So when we click on the Grapher app, the first thing it's going to do is ask us to add an element. I want to go ahead and add a function that actually represents a real world problem, right? Because if you're working in pre-calc or algebra 2, this is going to be very, very common. So let's talk about an object that is thrown through the air, and we're looking at the height of that object after a certain amount of seconds. So let's go ahead and click OK here, and then we're going to go add a template. Now we have a couple different templates here for equation, functions, inequalities, points, list of points. You see a bunch of things there. I'm going to go ahead and click function here because this is a function where we have an input and output. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that x. I'm going to type in negative 16x squared plus 50x. And this actually looked familiar. This is the object, the basic equation for an object that travels in a parabolic path through the air. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then I'm going to go down to plot graph. And the first thing I absolutely love about the Numworks is that it automatically zooms in to a perfect view. You don't just have to guess your window. How far do my X's and Y's have to go for me to make a perfect window? With that auto feature, it automatically shows you your max, your zeros, your Y-intercept, everything you need. And another amazing feature is it puts points at all of those values. So to find the max, all you gotta do is move the cursor over to that point, and right there's the maximum value. No more left bound, right bound, guess the middle stuff that other calculators have. What just involves, takes more time. There's no time here, you just have to move. We could also go over and find that Y-intercept here. All we gotta do is click on it, and then we can move over to find those zeros as well, or those X-intercepts, one on the left and all the way over to seeing one on the right. Pretty cool. Now, another amazing feature I love is this sub menu where we see that calculate option. So when we go to calculate, there's lots of really cool things that the calculator could do. But first is very easy. Hey, what if 1.5 seconds, how high is this particular object? And it shows you at 1.5 seconds, it's almost at that max. So it's at 44 feet above the ground. Pretty cool. But now let's check out some other really cool features of this as well. If we go down to find, we could find an X given a Y. This is something that usually you have to solve for, which takes time. But on the Numworks, it could do it all really quickly for you. So let's say we want to figure out at what times is it 20 feet up off the ground. Hit confirmed, and it shows you the points where it happens. It happens right there at, looks like 0.471 seconds. It's 25 feet above the ground. Really simple, really easy, and very helpful. And a couple other things, if you are interested in calculus or pre-calculus, where you talk about rates of change, check this out. That's one of my favorite things as well, is we could actually go ahead and find the tangent line. This is the slope at any given point. And check this out. You could actually see everything down here as you move the point. First off, it shows you the tangent line. You can see the tangent line actually changing. It shows you the input, for in this case, 0.63 is the X. It shows you the output, 30.1496. And then it shows the derivative, which is the slope of that tangent line. And what I like best when I'm trying to teach pre-calc is, even if they don't understand derivatives yet, you could still show how the slope of the rate of change, or the rate of change at these given points, the slope, is changing. And you see why this graph is concave down, because as you move throughout the function, the rate of change is going down. Right here it's 18.32, then 16, then 13, then 11, then 8.4, and then we see that it actually hits 0 at that max. And then as we turn the corner, now it's more and more negative. So we see that the rate of change is always decreasing, which is why the graph is concave down. So it's such a cool visual tool that you could quickly show students to understand concavity and rates of change. And if you're in upper level calculus, look, everything you need is right here. It gives you the slope. It gives you the equation of the tangent line. Really cool feature, amongst others. But that's one of my favorite features about the graphing app is, all the different things that it could do for you, and it doesn't take a lot of work. I love how beautiful it is, how nice it all is. And then you have the other menu up here as a table. You can actually see the table of values. for your inputs and your outputs as well. So lots of really cool features in that Grapher app, and hopefully it's going to help make math class a lot easier for you. So if you haven't already discovered the Numworks calculator yet, hopefully this video is just kind of introducing you to, and you'll realize what a cool calculator it is. And if you're in the market for a calculator, trust me, this is the one that you're going to want to get that's going to make your life in pre-calculus, calculus, or even upper level college math classes really, really easy.